Okay, so I need to now think about voice effects, and if I'm going to use any, I think I should, because last time I was really focused on immersion and using sound to create sort of like a really atmospheric, engaging performance, and I've really found that through sort of having the different speakers located around the room, I was able to achieve this. So obviously I'm not going to have a lot of control with the voices, just because it's going to be hard enough matching them all up, having them playing and overlapping at the right times anyway. So it would be great to have the sound effects separate, and this would be more immersive. So I'm thinking I do need a couple. I don't want to go over the top. I think it will work best when it's unexpected and it comes out of nowhere. So I'm just going to scan through now. I don't think I should have it at the beginning. I think I should create sort of like, I think I need like a linearity before I start to mess with what's happening. I do think I want to try with the older person to break down the speech, make it like disjointed, so quite echoey, rustly, I forgot what the word is, like when a computer starts to, like static, I think static for the old person. Because I am presenting the older person as someone who is trapped in their body, not because of their relationship with their body, it is, but it's mainly because of how society has treated the aged body in media and in just policies as well, sort of the idea that, oh, you're not really that important the older you get, and I am presenting that. I don't believe in that. I just want to realistically depict the pain that each of the stages of this person go through. So I think definitely that static noise to play on the fact that this old person, people think they're breaking down, they don't work anymore, they don't function as well as they did when they're younger, that idea of being static, sort of like that spatial time theory. Especially with the line sort of troubleshooting from dormant to active modes, I think the static would work really well. I was thinking for the body has outgrown you to sort of physically distort it, maybe have something come out, I don't know, that something could expand. An expansion of it. I think the wheels spliced together could work with sort of like a cutting sound, cutting, sticking noise to show we are sort of like one person, we're stuck together. I think that would work because I think that is really the climax of the piece and sort of like the eeriness of it. As well as that, I did want throughout them just sort of overlap and touch each other. So I think in times like the mess bit, V2 and V1, merge, not fully, but maybe like try and grab their shoulder, calm them down, maybe like I think I could go through the projection, sort of like being able to move in and out of each other. I think that could definitely also work. maybe with the bionic hip, to sort of reach in to where the hip is. I keep thinking back to the changing cord because that was a large part of my research, sort of the idea of something's wrong with this person, they're not who they were destined to be, they're not the person that they were born as, it's been replaced by like, this demonic fairy child. So I think it'd be interesting to maybe have the call or the scream behind that line. Just because then that would really ramp up that anger, that tension that's been flowing throughout. And I feel like that is probably enough because I don't want to mess with it too much. It's going to be quite simplistic, but it's going to be very difficult technically to produce. And a lot of it relies on the language I've got already, and I'm quite happy with the script. I feel like next steps are, so today I've been able to run through pronunciations, exaggerations, sort of the linguistic side, what words am I going to focus on, how would a younger person say this, how would an older person react, thinking about their interactions with each other. Then I have performed a couple of tiny little pieces where I was exploring the Roy Clare Potter's piece, where they have the poem, it's disjointed, it's ripped up, and they move it across the floor to form this new poem from found language. I found that really useful. I really enjoyed sort of being able to visually show the audience that this is what I'm doing. I'm finding something new from what I've already got. I think it's really cool, especially with the noise that the paper makes against the floor and being able to lean in, using your body to sort of mirror what's going on linguistically. And I really enjoyed that. However, I don't think it's something I'm going to use in the performance just because it's already been done. I feel like I'll just be replicating what she's been doing, but I'm definitely going to take forward the message behind the work and the process of it. So I've already been doing that process. I've done many drafts, many edits, cutting them up, finding new language, plagiarising the Cyber Feminist Index. I've been doing all of that for about all over a month, and I've collected a lot of words and a lot of ways of writing this script. Now I'm happy with the one I've got. I want to sort of be able to do that process again, but with the body. So I'm thinking of writing the lines on my body and I'm finding them, a bit like how she's moving them across the floor. They'll be on my body, I'll be moving my body and finding them. It could be too complicated, it might just be like a mini piece before I do this piece, but I think it's really important that I find out if it will fit. So that's going to be next steps. I've also discussed, I've memorised the poem, the script now, which is great. I'm going to be performing that tomorrow at an open mic night, which is really exciting. I'm thinking of doing the Roy Clare Potter technique there, where I will use the table or the stand to get the lines of the poem, and then I'll read out the rest. Sort of focusing on sort of like words, pronunciations, sort of being able to create that distinct. I think what's good is I'm challenging myself without using technology to find a way of getting the voices distinct, so that if I do use technology, it'll just make it, it'll just elevate it. But yeah, I really need to be able to do, get that distinction. And then I've gone on to looking at sound effects and how that could work and creating an immersive environment. So I am on track. Next steps are just going to be more research, and Thursday I will be performing, just as a practice, just with myself, with the words. I think that's really invaluable, and seeing how that could then fit into a wider piece. I think if it has potential, I'll perform it to an audience next week, and I need to start researching into the AI and working out the technical difficulties of the piece. And visuals. So yeah, working out how I'm going to present my body. It's going to be the first time I'm actually, last term kind of, but this term more so, this is going to be the first time that I am going to be showing my whole body, as in I'm going to be standing up, going to have three of me, so I've really got to work out the presence that each person is going to have on stage.